If you struggle with shyness or social anxiety, check out our free No BS training course with actual useful advice you can do from home. None of that just get out there nonsense. The link is in the description below. For now, let's get to today's question.
The question, what do teachers think of students with anxiety disorder? Answer by Linda Swan, Stephen Parker. Unfortunately, anxiety disorder is STH that happens inside. It's not visible to teachers, so they can't have a guess that you're putting up with some sort of mental emotional shit. In school I didn't have anxiety disorder, but I guess if I had, teachers wouldn't find out. We weren't on a good financial condition, so my family couldn't afford to get support from psychologists, and my disorder remained unknown. They would probably think I'm weird and FD-NG abnormal. They concluded that I live in a bad condition at home and blamed my mom for it and asked her to school over and over, and this made me more anxious. Fortunately, our school, mid and high school, had a soothing, friendly environment. It wasn't a place to make you anxious, so I have to tell you about my experience in uni because it was where I got anxiety disorder for the first time. I went to therapist by myself. They didn't get it that STH is wrong with me and kept rocking nonsense, blah blah blah. Later, via self-help books, I realized I had anxiety disorder. And it was hard to realize, because the symptoms that I experienced were different from everybody else's and what written in the books. So my professors' reactions, since I fell sick over and over and I skipped classes, they thought I am an irresponsible student and too relaxed to care about my study. Once I was absent from an exam. A close friend of mine, a middle-aged woman, called my professor and told him that I had anxiety problem and severe pains. And she asked him to take my exam on another day. My professor's reaction, he got upset. Because he thought a random woman is keeping my back and ordering my professors around to help me get good grades. That caused me problems with my uni peers, and the rest of the story, I rather not talk about. In the nutshell, in my country, there is no specialist to turn to. People pay money and buy degree. If you have emotional problems and you don't have a big family behind to support you, you are all by yourself and people accuse you of everything that comes to their minds. You have to keep reading books until you learn how to cure yourself. By the way, if you had such a big family behind to support you, you didn't get anxiety disorder from the first place. Answer by Emma Kuhn. Mine is a bit more complicated. The stigma and stereotypes around social anxiety make it seem petty, like it's just being sensitive and overreacting. I'm a level 3 learning support student, which is over average. All teachers are different, depending on their experience and specializations. I have had teachers who are very sensitive about it, always making sure I'm alright. I have had teachers who are exact opposite and are very insensitive about it, even had a teacher publicly make fun of it in class. I have had teachers who see me as just another self-diagnosing attention-seeking teenager and treat me as such. I have had teachers who have no idea how to handle it and treat me normally until something goes wrong. Basically, some teachers react to it better than others. It really does depend on their personality, specialties and experience. Answer by David Hornby. Well, most teachers know next to nothing about anxiety disorder, or how to interact with a student that is diagnosed with it. You may be given the option to take a test alone, and you will probably be positioned in a seat close to the teacher, to avoid any unscary bouts of uncontrollable extreme anxiety. You may also be given an extension on papers and homework. However, this is only if your teacher actually cares about doing a good job and is not in it only for a paycheck. If they are in it just for a paycheck, or the school is not aware of your diagnosis, then they will probably just think you are a shy, quiet worrywart, because teachers are not educated to any substantial amount on mental health. At the end of the day, anxiety disorder is the most common mental illness in the United States, so there are a lot of effective treatment options out there. Find a successful treatment option and the student's life overall will improve significantly, including academics. It is a symptom of anxiety disorder to worry about what the teacher thinks. It is this dysfunctional thought pattern that perpetuates anxiety disorder. Don't worry about what the teacher thinks about you, worry about what you think about you. Use the mental energy you are putting towards that dysfunctional thinking to learn how to improve your life, and find treatment for anxiety disorder. I know, I have personal experience. Changing your life and getting effective treatment are essential to be the most fulfilled and successful version of yourself.